Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a music major at one of the top universities in the country? In today's episode, I'm going to be taking you through a day in my life as a vocal performance and choral music education major at the University of Michigan School of Music, Theater, and Dance. I'm going to take you through my classes, coachings, rehearsals, show you a little bit about the projects that I'm working on, and let's go ahead and get started from the beginning of my day. I start my day at about 6:30 in the morning. I like to enjoy some time to myself, make some coffee or tea with a little bite to eat before I really dive into my back-to-back schedule for the day. Here you can see I'm reviewing a song that I had learned and memorized in just 3 days, so I'm distributing my practice all throughout the day, squeezing in a practice session in the morning. And out for the day to North Campus where the music school is located, just about a 15-minute drive for me. My first event of the day at 9:30 a.m. we are heading to a vocal jazz improvisation little collaboration partner work. So we booked a larger space. We're gonna be working in a larger classroom upstairs at the School of Music. And just look at all these fall colors. Isn't it so beautiful right now? I'm so lucky to be here. And it's just such a beautiful place and makes you wanna create. Since COVID, we are required to swipe into the building to control traffic and keep track of who's in the building. In some places, you'll even see stickers on the ground indicating the 6-foot social distancing. And here I go down the hall, following the sound of music. Our first run through Blue Bossa. That was so much fun, just to be able to be in the same room together and be able to collaborate, react to one another in the moment. It's really something special and something that I have really appreciated, especially now with everything becoming virtual. Of course, there is all these great technologies out there, great applications, software, but it doesn't replace that in-person collaboration like I was just able to do for my jazz improv class. So right now I'm on a little bit of a break. I have a coaching later in the day where I'm going to work with my accompanist for my solo repertoire, and that's gonna be at school. So I'm just gonna stay here and enjoy this beautiful scenery. I love to make lists. So every night before I go to bed, I make a list of my to-dos for the next day. So right now I have this lovely notepad with all of the lists of things that I have to do and get done today. I'm gonna check some emails, work on a presentation, work on some acting homework for my virtual acting class this afternoon, and I will see you a little bit later. You might be wondering, a mask? Outside? We are outdoors, and yes, I'm still wearing a mask because I'm still on campus grounds, whether you are outdoors or indoors. To limit the spread of COVID-19, they have made it a requirement that we are still wearing masks, even singers. So in that coaching, later today or even earlier this morning when I was working on my jazz improvisation work, that was all masks, and that's a challenge for a singer because you have to manage your breath. How are you going to communicate the story when you're performing with a mask? So it's been a challenge, but we're all getting through it together, and I'm just still appreciative of being able to make music during this time. Hey, I just ran a few errands, so I left the music school, but now I'm back. I'm in the parking lot, as you can see, and I never had a chance to warm up for my coaching coming up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do a warm up in the car, as you can see. And this way I don't have to wear a mask while I'm singing because I'm in the car. I'm in my own little space, in my own little bubble. Also, I always carry with me in my purse, I have these disposable straws, and they're individually wrapped, so don't worry, it's sanitary. I always throw them out after I use them. And these are really helpful to warm up with, get the resonance going. I'll do some lip trills, and anyone who's walking by the parking lot is just gonna enjoy the nice 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in my car, if you can hear me. So I'm gonna warm up for my coaching, then I'm gonna go to that, and it's gonna be great. Story! Once upon a time, I was walking up this exact hill after a late night rehearsal. It was nearly completely dark when suddenly I heard something ruffling the leaves. There wasn't a human in sight. It was a deer passing through. I was not mugged in the late hours. This is Ann Arbor, Michigan. Back to my day. And we have arrived to the coaching room. We are in the newer wing of the building of the music school. So the pianist is going to be over there, and I'm going to be at the very opposite corner of the room for the coaching.
In coachings, we work on refining the repertoire and work mostly on the stylistic elements after I've already worked on technique in my voice lessons. In coachings, we work to bring out the composer's intentions, diction for foreign language pieces, and the overall polishing, like acting the song or stylistic differences based on time period to really take it to the next level. Here's a little snippet of a musical theater piece I was working on. Back home for some more online classes. Here we go.
Different obstacles get in the way of the what of the main character. World environment, maybe.
So that was my acting class. A lot to think about from that lesson. And now moving on to my studio class, where I'm still going to stay in this exact same spot in my bedroom, in my home little office, where I take all of my online classes. So in studio class, we're going to hear a couple of different singers from the same studio teacher. We all gather together and we give each other comments on the repertoire that we're learning. So some people are going to submit pre-taped videos and we're going to watch them all together and give comments. And some people will sing live on Zoom.
And that was my school day. My evenings are normally filled with rehearsal, mostly online these days, and submitting virtual assignments for classes in self-tape style as our form of discussions. You can see my living room rehearsal performance set up here. Sometimes I've gotten a little creative with my tapes, spice things up and add props, sing to a leopard, sugar cubes, because why not? Sometimes it can get a little bit tiring just to sing to my ring light. I'm the director of the Blue Note Vocal Jazz Ensemble that meets virtually and uses the online digital audio workstation BandLab to keep track of how everyone is sounding as an ensemble since we can't all sing together at the same time over Zoom. I'm also the assistant director of Musket's Newsies in Concert, which meets 80% online. I coach the leads on their solo pieces over Zoom, and this semester I found myself on the tennis courts for rehearsal, a place I never thought I'd be. While I showed you the flashy parts of my day, the schedule of a music major at the University of Michigan keeps me pretty busy with academic classes as well, especially with my dual degree. I have 2 focuses in areas that I'm working towards.
That was my day. I hope you enjoyed this journey with me, and I hope to see you next time on Sing with Cinderella. Check out my other videos on the college performing arts, audition tips, vocal technique, and so much more. Stay subscribed and keep updated on all that I'm up to. Check out the handles over here, and I hope to see you next time on Sing with Cinderella.